Bonjour diddly all, know my giant size fan things, how you all doing? Hope you're all keeping safe out there. I'm currently sweating myself to death because it is bloody hot here in the UK at the moment. So, this is my first video in my Summer of Smash season, my HULKAMANIA event, and I thought, well, what better start with than the main man himself, the Hulk? And what better Hulk to start with than the 80th anniversary Marvel Legends figure, the one that most people, I think, can agree is the best Marvel Legends Hulk. And yeah, I'm among those people. I genuinely think this is one of the best Marvel Legends Hulks, if not one of the best Marvel Legends ever. And as I'm sure most of you know by now, my usual spiel. Just a quick bit of background about the Hulk. Bruce Banner, gamma testing, trying to save a poor kid's life, throws him into a hole. He gets hit by the blast instead, infused with gamma radiation, and now every time he becomes angry, he transforms into the Incredible Hulk. Pretty simple. Comics ahoy, adventure, brilliant books. Now this figure is, without a doubt, probably one of my favourite figures in my collection. He is marvellous. Now this figure itself was released as part of a 2-pack for the 80th anniversary of Marvel Comics. He came with a first appearance version of Wolverine to celebrate the fact that Wolverine first appeared in Hulk issue, I think it's 181? Yes, I think it's 181. And this pack celebrates that, and it was a great pack. A lot of people bought it. I did buy it, but I sold on the Wolverine to someone else in time. I don't mind, it was an okay figure, but I'm not really a massive Wolverine fan. Oh, and one thing you might notice in the packaging is Hulk does come with a tattered white shirt which drapes over his shoulder to look like, well, a shirt Dr. Bruce Banner was wearing before he hulked out. I do have that shirt. I just can't remember where it is. It's somewhere in a box, in the back of a cupboard, in the bottom of the ocean, somewhere. I haven't a damn clue where it is. I did look, but I couldn't find it. But not having it doesn't detract from the figure in any way, I don't think. Now then, down to the main details of the figure. This figure is one of the largest Marvel Legends ever produced in the main line. Well, let's say in the main line, in like, that's not a Build-A-Figure. And he is really, really well done. The articulation, the sculpting, it's all beautiful. It's all anyway, as I was saying, beautifully sculpted, beautifully articulated, well balanced as well. There's a real heft and weight to the figure, and it carries that weight really well. It'd be quite easy for this figure to be too top heavy and to fall over all the time. Yeah, but no, it carries its weight well. Its articulation helps it quite a lot. It's got double jointed knees, single jointed elbows, but they're not restricted anyway. They're mobile enough. He has butterfly joints on his shoulders. They only move backwards, not forwards. So he can't do like his famous thunderclap, but they help with poses that like want to show off strength. It works really well. He has a diaphragm joint, a waist swivel. His neck is on a 2-part ball joint. He has universal hips. His ankles have rockers and tilt backwards and forwards. Overall, he's really, really well articulated. I've never come across anything I wanted to do with him or any pose I wanted to put him in that I couldn't get him into, and that he didn't look extremely powerful and strong in those poses. I mean, like, this is the Hulk after all. He's not known for his martial arts skills or anything like that. He is very much a grappler, a bruiser, a strong man. Someone who isn't expected to be doing acrobatics, but rather to stand there and just be menacing and imposing. And this figure does that really, really well. As far as accessories go, as I said before, in packaging he comes with a white lab coat or shirt that goes over his shoulders, which I can't find, but apart from that, he comes with a pair of fists. These look really good. They're large, meaty hands, perfect for punching other figures with. They look really great. Not only that, but also comes with a pair of, well, I was going to say open or gripping things hands, but more like anger hands. You could, in theory, get them to grip something, but the way they are, it's very limited in what they could hold, but they look good as, well, just I say anger hands, just hands where Hulk shows off his pure rage, and you can, of course, put some things in his hands. Using the articulation, you could say have him balancing a very large boulder on his back like Atlas. This looks rather cool, and there's no trickery or anything, it's being held up by the figure, and I think that works really well. I won't display him like this, but it's nice to know if I wanted to, I could have him carrying something, maybe recreate that famous cover from Secret Wars, where he's holding up the mountain. That's a good thought. So yeah, that's the basics on the figure. Let's compare him to some others in my collection. It's going to be hard to get all these in frame, I think. Up first, probably the second largest, or actually maybe slightly larger than the Hulk, depending on how you look at it. The Marvel Legends 80th anniversary Juggernaut. Like Hulk, this one came in a 2-pack, though it came with X-Men's Colossus, which I had no real desire to keep, so I didn't buy that. I just bought this guy on his own. The two look really good together, just the sheer amount of brawn and muscle between the two of them looks brilliant. You can just see how the two of them are really powerfully sculpted. But unlike Juggernaut, Hulk has his paintwork has lighter yellow tones and deeper greens, which help really sell the musculature, while Juggernaut is quite flat with his colours. Nothing wrong with that, but it just goes to show what the difference a little bit of extra paintwork can do when it comes to the way a figure comes across. Here he is, next to the Wendigo, who's currently throwing off my white balance ridiculously. This was the villain in that original appearance of Wolverine comic, and has been a on and off again Hulk villain, mainly because it's like a mindless beast, but the two of them look really good together. Wendigo is a builder figure, and even though he's slightly haunched with the way I've posed him, you can see Hulk is builder figure size plus, which is really, really good, and as I say, these two look great together. Here he is next to the Man-Thing. Again, a builder figure, Hulk is slightly bigger, but man, he still holds a place in my heart. The two look great together. They've had a few fights in the comic books, but nothing too major. Here he's next to some other fellow Avengers, Thor and Captain America. You can see, compared to these regular sized Marvel Legends, Hulk is really, really big. He's to scale properly, I think. He's correctly imposing. He's just brilliant compared to them. Oh, sorry, not brilliant compared to them. He's brilliant alongside them. And here he is with other fellow Avengers, Iron Man and Hawkeye. Yet again, he's big, he's imposing, he's impressive. He looks great with them. Here he is with another green figure in my collection. The retro/vintage release of Doctor Doom. They look really good. There's quite a few Hulk vs Doom stories in the comic which I did love. And in the cartoons as well, there's actually a few crossovers between the two. Every time Hulk seems to have a cartoon, especially in the 90s, Doctor Doom would have to turn up as a villain every now and again. Here he's next to, the old Toy Biz She-Hulk. Not the big Toy Biz She-Hulk, this was the Savage She-Hulk, the release that came in the Fin Fang Foom wave. It's like a repaint of the... Was it not Shiva? Sheena? Whoever the Queen of the Jungle is in Marvel. And yeah, it doesn't look that great. But personally, I cannot wait for the upcoming She-Hulk release. That's hopefully going to be making it into HULKAMANIA this year. I mean, that figure looks amazing. It's just a great green repaint of that grey version that came out first for some unknown reason, and I've already thrown down my pre-order. I might pick up a second actually, so I can have it both as the calm and savage versions on my display. Oh, I'm going to die, Paul. And here he is next to his perennial villain, the Leader. They look really good together. The brains and that giant head and the brawn of the Hulk. They're quite weirdly, looking at it now on camera, their greens look vastly different. They're in hand. I never noticed there was a difference between them. That's rather interesting. And by Jove, it really towers above him. Oh, and one thing I had to do this. The ball joint doesn't quite fit, so there's a little bit of blue tack in there, but putting the Leader's head on the Hulk's body, I love the look of this. It's ridiculous, and I love it. This Hulk mode has been used a few times since. It's been used as, well, it's been re-released as the Red Hulk with a different head sculpt. That was a really cool figure. I did have it. I had a slight accident with it where it fell off the shelf and smashed me in the face while I slept, and I got rid of him after that. But that's still a really good figure, and I kind of might buy another one back if I can find one cheap enough. Oh, and we've also had recently the announcement of a, I think it's a Target exclusive, the Composite Hulk, which is just like from one issue of like the 2014, I think, Hulk series, or yeah, or God, was it 2004? No, I'm pretty sure it's 2014. Hulk series where the Impossible Man fused the Hulk and the Red Hulk together, and we got this, the Composite Hulk. This is ridiculous. This is silly. I laughed when it was announced, but I think I still might end up picking it up just for the crack of it. Yeah. Oh, and the figure is also, well, this mould was also released with yet again another head sculpt as the Grey Hulk. Not the Grey Hulk, which is Joe Fixit. This is more like the first appearance Hulk. I really like this figure. The only reason I didn't pick it up, one, it's expensive. Two, they didn't give him two sets of hands. So he has one fist and one open hand, and not, two fists and two open hands. That really annoyed me for some reason, since I know they have the moulding for it already. Yeah, little things like that really annoy me. So yeah, that's just been that's been my review of the 80th anniversary Hulk. I thought it'd be a good one to start with for HULKAMANIA, and settle into this summer of Smash, where, because you have so many Hulk figures coming out, I thought, well, might as well indulge and just do a themed couple of weeks, a couple of months, until I run out of Hulk figures to review or Hulk topics to discuss. So yeah, that's it folks. I hope you've enjoyed this little review. If you want to pick up a Hulk figure of your own, they do float around on eBay and Facebook groups. If you can track one down, I'd recommend it, it's worth it. Yeah, that's it. Until next time folks, I want you all to stay safe, stay sane, and keep on rolling. And I'll see you all next time. Ta-da!